Bienvenido desde cero. Welcome to Right from the Start. On today's podcast, we have a guest who is a dance instructor and choreographer,
Yes.
Aymele Rodas.
Yes.
Pronounce that again.
Aymele Rodas.
Aymele Rodas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like Emily, but A.
Aymele.
Aymele. There you go.
Okay. Well, welcome to the podcast. And let's get going and let's ask you, where's Aymele from?
So Emily's from Bryan, Texas. Is home. What is it? Born and raised in Bryan, Texas. So I've been living here for my entire life.
Sorry, like parents?
Yeah. Parents both are from, well, my mom is from Bryan, Texas, and then my dad is from Honduras.
Honduras.
Yeah. So
okay. Brothers and sisters?
Brothers and sisters, born and raised Bryan, Texas.
Mm-hmm. And how many do you have? How many siblings do you have?
I have 5.
5?
Yes.
Okay. Can you name them all?
Yeah. So I have, I'm like Joelle, Alan, and then on my dad's side, I have Alexandra, Jr., and Daniela.
Okay. Yeah. And they all are here?
Well, my 3 other siblings are in Navasota.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're in the area.
They're in the area. Yeah. They're in Brazos Valley.
And where did you go to elementary?
I went to Anson Jones throughout my whole elementary school year. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, Anson Jones was only 7th grade.
Yeah.
So that was a fun time.
Did you go to Anson Jones?
I went to Anson Jones in 7th grade.
In 7th grade?
For only 7th grade.
Okay.
That was the only grade that they had for that.
I remember my mom and my aunt saying that they all went to Anson Jones, and it changed throughout the years.
Okay. And high school?
High school, I went to Bryan High School.
Bryan High School. You graduated in, you said 2020?
Yes, COVID
during
year.
The COVID year?
Yeah.
Did you have graduations that year or no?
We had a graduation, but it was outside in the stadium. Okay. So that was completely different.
Right.
It was hard.
It kind of took away from the event, right?
Yeah, the senior year experience for sure.
So coming out of high school, what did you do after that?
After high school, I went to Tyler Junior College. I wanted to pursue my dance degree. So I went to East Texas and I did dance at the dance academy there. I was there for 2 years because I got my associates since it is a junior college. And yeah, so I just wanted to dance out there and try a new genre of dance. Mm-hmm. In high school, I was in drill team. So I was a Cheyenne for 3 years.
During like the Cheyennes, they compete, right? They have competition. Explain to me all that, because I've always, since I was in high school, I used to see the Cheyennes. I thought they just did football games. But later on, I thought, I found out that they actually compete.
Yeah.
So what are these competitions? What are they about, and how do you compete and
how do you get into it?
And the dance and how they scores or whatnot?
Yeah. So Cheyennes and drill team is like a very serious competitive team. I would say you have football season. You start off with football season and you go out there supporting the boys. And then throughout after fall, during spring semester, we really focused on competition. So we take our teams and we go compete with different teams around Texas. And then after, we have our spring show towards the end. So that is just basically a big show we do for the community. And it's just basically all the dances we did from competition and just throughout the year. And then we just show it for the community.
Do you know how these judges score these competitions?
A little bit. I know it just kind of depends. So every team can bring something different. So they either do novelty, they will do a military dance, they'll do a palm routine or hip hop, and it's just based on kind of like how big your team is, the sync, like how they're in sync, just different things. It just depends really what they're looking for. I would also say I know judges really base their scores off like technique and how aligned everyone is.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody's got to be smiling.
Yes, smiling. That's a big thing for drill team. Everyone has to be super, to be very, But I would say one thing about drill team that is different from dance, like in studio, is that they're very disciplined. The girls wake up early, 5 a.m., get ready, go to practice. You're there early in the mornings. You're dancing. And I remember when I would go into drill team practice, it was like, we all go through things outside these doors, but when you're on the floor, you got to let it out and you're here to dance. So definitely will say drill team was probably the best thing for me in high school because it kept me away from a lot of distractions and things that probably weren't the best for me in high school.
Right. It's a sport.
Yeah, right? It's a sport. Definitely it's a sport.
Competitive sport.
They're taken very seriously. And you would get in trouble. You couldn't really be out, in high school, you can be out partying and things like that. You had to really be focused and take your dance very serious.
Right. When did you first find out that you had a love for dance?
Before I joined drill team, I did dance when I was in like 8 years old. I danced at Gentry Dance Studio. She's back in town now. I saw that she's back in town here for a while now, but I used to dance there for a while and also did power sports dance. And so really I think my mom would always say I would tell her would watch videos at home, YouTube videos, like when it would come on TV, and it would always be the Missy Elliott video. And I was like, I wanted to be like those girls in the background dancing. And so I just kind of picked up on it, always listen to music, dance, dance, dance. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign you up for dance.
Right. How old were you when you first saw that video and you kind of got inspired to want to dance?
I think I was like 6.
6 years
I
old.
think it was during that time. I remember seeing it very young, and I was with my aunt a lot, so she would always play, these YouTube videos, these music videos, and so I would always watch them, and I'd be like so intrigued, of course, by the artist, but like I was always intrigued by the backup dancers in those
Right.
videos. Yeah.
Well, was it the beat, the music, or was it actually the person doing those dance moves?
I think it
Was
was
it everything
I think it was
combined?
everything, just seeing how in sync they were, or like when I would listen to the lyrics, as a kid, you kind of pick up with these things.
Right.
Okay, what are these lyrics saying, and what are they doing with the lyrics? Are they like going with it? It's just kind of just picking up on everything. I noticed things that not everyone would really pay
Right.
attention to. Yeah.
Did you feel that you had that talent to continue to that next level, like in high school?
Yeah, I really, really wanted to pursue dance. So like I ever since I was a kid and just started dancing at the studios, I've really kind of had a lot of confidence. I will say I was a very confident kid.
Hmm.
So when I was on stage, I was dancing. And I went at Anson Jones too, they would put me in their dance programs all the time
Right.
in the front. They're like, you're gonna help, teach the kids. And I remember one time for a talent show, I did a One Direction dance group. I choreographed a group of girls in 5th grade. So I was always very intrigued of leadership and just wanting to
Right.
just do something like some type of production. So after high school, I was like, I know this is for me. I feel like I always knew what I wanted, and I feel
Right.
like till this day, I feel like I still know it's meant for me.
Yeah. During high school, were you still taking lessons in the studio, or it was just specific high school dance?
Yeah. So in high school, I just really just did drill team. I didn't really know much about the outside world of dance. I guess just being from Bryan, Texas, I didn't really like expand or see much.
Right.
I would see videos more towards senior year, and I'm like, okay. But when I went to junior college, I actually tried out for the Apache Bells and I didn't make it. This was during COVID year.
Hmm.
And so I was really kind of hurt about it because I was like, I worked so hard and I didn't make it. And I thought drill team was only going to be for me. But then I realized there's so much more
Right.
outside of drill team. And so then I was in a dance academy and I learned about modern, I learned about ballet, and I learned about more about contemporary and a little bit of different genres of dance. And I was like, wait, there's so much more out there that I can do. It doesn't have to
Right.
be necessarily just drill team.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you before we started that I used to dance in the bailes folclóricos, the
Mm-hmm.
Mexican dance, right? And that kind of, it was fun,
Yeah.
because I think it was the same way. We had to practice real hard because we were about to perform,
Mm-hmm.
in September or whatnot. So what did dance do for you mentally and physically?
Mentally, I would definitely say it made me, it's kind of like an outer body experience from, I was going through my, certain things in high school. It would allow me to really focus on it, but just let go. So when I'm dancing, I can just let go and just really be or portray the music or listen to the music, portray something and just
Hmm.
have fun with it. Physically, it kept me very active and very disciplined and honestly very consistent. Like till this day, I feel like dance has helped me want to stay in the gym, want to stay outside, just continuing, being
Right,
maintained
because
with my
you
body.
have to be physically fit to
Hmm.
to kind of dance
Yeah.
at a high level, right?
Hmm. Um, Not necessarily. I would say now there's anybody can dance. I would say anybody can dance no matter what, if you're in the gym and if you're not. But I guess just depending on what level you want to
Right,
be at,
right.
then for sure I would
Yeah.
say.
What are all the benefits of dancing? Because I feel like dancing is more of a therapy to some people as well, right?
Mhm.
What are all the benefits of dancing? Any genre.
Any genre. Number one, I always say confidence. I think dance definitely brings confidence. You can be the shyest person in the room,
Right.
but it's kind of like when you learn something new, you get comfortable with it, you become more confident in it.
Right.
So definitely confidence. Um, Another thing is just kind of like your well-being, your mental health. It allows you to just express yourself. I would say dance is very an expressive way to show who you are as a person, but also just have fun. So those two things I would say definitely be the
Right.
biggest for me.
At what level are you now dancing?
That's a hard question. I definitely would say I feel like I'm still intermediate, depending on where you want to level yourself at. I feel like I know a lot of drill team skills because I did drill team for a while. Um, Depending on, it's just so much genres. There's just so much to it. Ballet wouldn't be my forte. Like, I wouldn't be your girl to like tell you much about ballet, but I know the basics. I know the beginner stuff.
What are all the styles of dance that you know?
Well, I know beginner ballet. I know beginner modern. I know beginner tap. I did teach these classes when I was in an academy in dance, so we were allowed to have classes and help with the kids. I will say my best, like my more leveled skilled, it's hip hop and jazz. So those are the things that I definitely.
That's your strength. That's
That's
your
my
strongest
strength for sure.
point, I guess.
That's my strongest. And then definitely now I'm kind of getting more into the Latin fusion vibes. So I got really into reggaeton. I've always listened to reggaeton music. It's not necessarily the genre of reggaeton, but we call it reggaeton because it's hip hop, but it's just Latin music.
Right. It's about the beat, right?
Yeah, it's about the beat. And then I'm getting into bachata right now. That's why I'm kind of getting that going too. Right. And then just a little bit. I did do baile florico with Cheyennes in high school. So they'll get some girls and we'll do it too. So I know a little bit about that, but not.
What song did y'all dance?
I don't know. It was a while back. It was a long time ago. Okay. But it was a while back. I remember I did like 2 to 3 shows with them. Right. So that was fun.
So when you graduated high school, you decided to pursue dance at a college, right? What college did you attend? And how did you find out about that college that provided this course? Or this degree?
Yeah. So I was going with the intentions to try out for the Apache Bells at Tyler Junior College. Right. So my intentions were, okay, I'm going to do drill team and I'm going to try out for this team. But during COVID year, I definitely did get cut off a good chunk of my semester. So I was training at home, but I feel like maybe I wasn't really prepared to, for those tryouts. And I was really, really hurt about it. I was really sad. I was just like, my dance career is over. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. But I was like, I definitely still want to move out from home, kind of learn, kind of grow as an individual. So I was like, you know what? It's okay. God has a purpose for me in his journey. So I was like, I'm going to go to East Texas and I'm going to just pursue the dance, the dance academy there. Okay. And so that's kind of how I stayed there.
But how did you find out about Tyler College?
So in drill, their Apache Bells are very known in drill team. So that's kind of how I knew about East Texas. And I was kind of like, well, this would be something, affordable. This would be not close to home, but kind of when I went to visit Tyler, it's very similar to Bryan, I would say. Small town, very community vibes. So I really liked it. Yeah.
Okay. And what was the degree that you pursued there? Is it actually called dance?
Yeah, it's a dance degree. So you get a dance associate's.
Tell me about the courses and about what you had to go through to get that degree.
So you need, and like when you go to college, like any other,
you're still taking your math and
you're still taking your basics,
stuff?
Your basics, math, science, and then you'll take your dance classes. So you will go in the morning. You will take like ballet classes for an hour, and then you'll switch into the next class and you'll take modern for an hour. And then we also did like some classes, like cultural classes where you learn about different styles of dance around the world, like African styles, and then just line dances as well, learning how to dance like the watts and things like that. Very much about that. And then we take classes about like the history of dance, like how hip hop started, where did ballet come from, who created modern and things like that. So it definitely helped a lot, like learning more educational things about dance, because I didn't know some of these things myself.
What was the most foreign dance that you liked to dance, or that you liked the most?
I definitely would say African. African was super fun. It was something different. It was very instrumental, the drum beats, and it's kind of close to modern, I would say, but it's a little bit of hip hop. It comes from hip hop a little bit. So when you listen to it and you see how dance has changed throughout the years, you really appreciate the art for what it is now. And I feel like a lot of people don't see it that way, but when you know the history and you know something, you're like, oh wow, this all started because of this. And the same thing with modern. This all started with because of this person and things like that. So it really changes your perspective on dance for
Right.
sure.
How was your whole college experience?
So, because it was COVID year, I did stay in the dorm for 1 year. We had to wear masks, and
Yeah.
wasn't fun. It wasn't really fun because it was hard. I really didn't get to have that experience like everyone else did. So I was kind of bummed at first. I made some amazing friends throughout the year, though. I did have made some friends through my dance degree and things like that. The second semester kind of eased up. It was easier, but still living alone and just kind of during COVID was hard to explore the town itself. Because you couldn't really go out and you couldn't even walk in the hallways without your mask because our dorms were like an apartment, so every door was right next to each other. You couldn't even go put laundry. You had to stay very cautious throughout the whole time. The second year, I got my own apartment. It was easier, kind of eased up a little bit, and that's how I got into some more things.
Did it get easier as you went along, or was it harder?
It was hard at first, but it got easier. It definitely got easier.
Once you got into the rhythm of the whole college thing.
Yes,
right?
Especially being a new adult, living by yourself. COVID, you're like kind of scared,
Yeah, it was a scary time.
Scary time, yeah.
So when did you get your degree in dance?
2022.
2022. Yeah. So it was a 2-year program, and you get your degree, and you stay in Tyler, or do you get back to Bryan?
I stayed in Tyler for a year and a half more. My second year at TJC, I actually got a job teaching in Tyler ISD. So there's this program called Young Audiences for East Texas. They also all over Texas and different states. And basically, instructors or anybody who's in the arts, theater, art, anyone, musicians can participate in this. What would I call it?
Was it like a pilot program or something like that?
Like a pilot program, but it's actually a job. It's a job. I would just say it's a job, and you can work with them, and they'll contract you through the schools. So the schools, like if they didn't have like a PE credit, they will have dance, and so the schools will contract them. And then I would work for them. So I was able to get a job as an assistant dance teacher at a middle school and high school at 19. So that was big because that was quick.
Yeah, it is.
And then I stayed one more year after graduated, and I was like, I'll stay one more year because then I got like the head position of dance. So then I was like, this is good for me. I'm kind of relaxed right now. And I like Tyler. I really like Tyler. So it was comfortable for me. So I was like, I'll just do it for one more year. So I was a full-time teacher. I was teaching high school at Winona. I was teaching high school at Winona. And in middle school, I was teaching at Hubbard and Moore Middle School. So I was kind of like traveling teacher.
How was your experience as a teacher?
In high school, middle school?
Right. And was it all for dance, or did you? Okay.
So I taught the courses, I taught the history of it, and I taught the beginner. And then it was kind of like throughout the year, you teach dances, you do pep rallies, you do football season. They're smaller towns, so necessarily didn't have a drill team in middle school. The Winona High School was outside of district, but it was like kind of like Navasota towards here. And we kind of made it like a dance team. So going into that, it was pretty easy, but it was harder because I was young. And so I would get mistaken as a student all the time. And it was kind of rough because
What kind of students did you have? Was it all kinds of students, or was it specific, mostly female, or was it male and female?
Male and female. So I definitely say I learned so much being a young teacher in like 19, 20, 21, throughout the years being a middle school and high school teacher, because I learned how to work with these kids and how to appreciate them, and also just how to appreciate teacher duties and what they go through. And like not only was I their dance instructor and I taught them, everything about dance, but also was, somebody they can come to and, talk to and be there for them. So that was very heartwarming for me, and kind of bittersweet. I really do miss that time because it helped a lot through my growth.
I mean, you had to have that discipline of having that curriculum ready for the next day or for the whole week, and plus, you were a role model to some of these kids, right?
Yes.
How did you feel about those kids coming up to you and giving you that trust?
It was great. It felt really nice. They can talk to me about things that they might not talk to anybody about. But it also was hard sometimes because you want to be there for those kids, but you can only do so much.
Right.
And so just how dance was an outlet for me growing up, allowed my class to be an outlet for them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was such a good time for sure.
So when do you decide to leave teaching and come back to Bryan College Station?
So I didn't want to stay in Tyler, didn't want to get too comfortable and stay there forever. I did enjoy my job, but after my full-time teaching there, I decided I wanted to move to Houston. So I was planning on moving to Houston with one of my friends who was going to be my roommate.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout the whole time, we were looking for things, and it just kind of didn't fall through.
Well, why Houston?
I wanted to move to Houston because studios out there offer a lot of training, and I go to Houston a lot now to go train, just to be around other dancers.
Mm-hmm.
I think my biggest struggle being a dancer is not having anyone to relate with here in Bryan College Station, or just feeling like I'm alone sometimes in this process. But when you're in a bigger city, you have a lot of faces who are, kind of in the same scene, want to do the same things. So I was like, I need to be in Houston. I need to make these friends. I need to make these connections. But because I didn't go back, because things didn't fall through, now I understand why God makes everything happen for a reason. Mm-hmm. But during that time, I was really bummed out because I stayed here for 3 months in the summer. I moved back in May, and I was like, of last year. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to start pushing and just start teaching classes. And that's kind of how I got into all that.
Okay. Yeah. And so you didn't go to Houston, but you decided to get back here. What do you do when you first get back to Bryan College Station?
So when I first got here, I just got a regular job, and I really wasn't teaching or anything yet. I was just going to Houston here and there and go into just dance and just to train. And then I was telling my mom, I was like, I think I would just try to look up studios and see what I can do to build something here, because there's so much opportunity in Houston. I need to bring that here into my community, because it would be great just to build something here. So then I started contacting gyms, studios here in town. Do y'all rent places? Do y'all have the instructors, things like that? And so that's kind of where I landed. Innovative Fitness at first. I started with them, rented their studio out, and then started teaching and just started kind of going, just like, I just had to risk it. I was nervous, but I was like, if I don't do it, then who's going to do it, Yeah.
How were you able to jump into that? Did you have that confidence? Was that your dream? Was that your goal all this time? Just to have your own dance studio?
Yes, my goal still to this day is to have a dance studio. This is kind of the reason why I'm doing all of this and I'm pushing through this, because it's either here in Bryan College Station or wherever God has a plan for me in any other place here in Texas. But yeah, that's kind of been, I'm always in my back of my head, the reason why I do these classes and the reasons why I push so hard to promote and to do things for the community. I was like, at the end of the day, I know I'm giving something back to the community, and I know that I'm going to be able to build something here.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, right, as of now, you have that passion to teach dance, right? How do you go about teaching a class?
How do I go about teaching a class?
Yeah, a class. Well, for let's start with beginners.
Okay.
You get new kids in there. What's the first thing that you do?
So when I first start with the class, people come in, and then I greet them, kind of get them comfortable, allow them to just kind of have like a little grace period, 5-minute grace period. Talk to them. Where are you from? Who you are? How did you find out about me? Allowing everyone to feel comfortable, because I don't just kind of start my classes like, okay, I'm going to teach.
Right,
like that would be kind of scary for everyone. Just letting them know that I know who you are, who am I, just keeping like a comfortable level. And then we'll start with the warm up. We'll kind of just follow me, and then we'll go into kind of like technique a little bit. It's just kind of the technique is basically what's in the choreography, but it's like basic steps. So like,
and what kind of dance is this? Is this hip hop? Is it what kind of genre is this?
This would be like my normal hip hop classes. Okay. So I'll just teach you like a little bit, like I'll step in, and I will do without the music. We'll do with counts. I kind of like do with like a beat, and then I'll play like some couple music switches. We'll start off slow. We'll start off building it up with a little bit of a faster beat, and then I'm like, okay, I feel like we're kind of more comfortable. We like kind of loosen up our movements, our muscles, and then we'll go into the choreography. And I don't just throw it at the beginners. Right. We start off, basic steps, learning it with counts, and then okay, let's try the snippet with the music. I'll let them watch me kind of see it, and then we'll try it together. And then if we need more time, we'll keep doing it a couple times. Okay, are we ready for the next, like, kind of like a building block. We'll start with this block. We'll learn it. Okay, cool. Ready for the next block? Okay, we'll learn it. And then we'll go back, build the first and second block. And then we keep building, like a puzzle, kind of like that.
How do you manage to get everybody's attention at the same time? Because I asked this because I like I said, I was a boxing coach for a long time, and I used to have like 40 kids, all choreographing drills.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And everybody would pay attention because I had my little technique of how to pay attention and stay focused. What's your technique on keeping everybody focused on the lesson of the day?
Yeah. This answer might be different for every genre I teach. So if it's kids, of course I'm going to come in full blown, super energetic, happy, getting them going. We'll do like a little clap or something like that. For adults, I definitely kind of let them know, like, you're here, if you're nervous and this is your first dance class ever, don't feel like you're alone, because we're here all learning and we're not here to judge each other. This is a free space to feel comfortable in, and then just allow yourself to learn, don't be so in your head. At the end of the day, you could be anywhere else, but you're here learning this class. You're taking the time to do this for yourself, and that's the best thing you could have done today. So I kind of just let them know, like, you're in a good space.
Right. What about the teenagers? I think the teenagers are more problematic, but at the same time, they learn quicker, right?
Yeah.
How do you manage to teach a course with teenagers?
Teens, it's sometimes always a hit or miss. Right. Sometimes they're too cool to dance, or sometimes they're like really excited to dance and they're ready to go. Just kind of like I said, get into being comfortable. The number one thing as an instructor is knowing who's in your class.
Correct.
Let them know who you are and know their names, remember their names. When you have that, build that simple relationship, they have like this trust in you, and they're going to allow you to teach you. So I think that's what's been my biggest thing, even learning from teaching the middle school and high school. I know you, you know me, we have a good relationship. We just met, but you can trust me that I'm going to lead you in the right way. Right. So I think that's the most important, just having a connection.
Right, having that connection and knowing that they're going to make mistakes, right? I just went back to coaching kids class in boxing. And the first thing I said, hey, don't worry about if you mess up. Don't worry about making mistakes.
Yeah.
That's why you're here, right? And you got to give them that confidence. Don't shut nobody down. I mean, maybe they have 2 left feet, but a month from now, they're going to fix it. And they might be good dancers, right?
Yeah.
They might be good boxers or whatever you're teaching, right? What about, do you teach older people, I guess? I don't want to say old people. Adults. Do you teach adult classes?
I do. I started doing ladies' night. So I did have my first ladies' night event. Oh my God, it's beginning of May. And that went really well. I'm trying to get more into that, allowing ladies to come out, leave the kids at home, come dance, have a free space to have fun. So I'm working on that. I think I'm very versatile with kids, teens, adults, and now I'm getting into that. When I first started in Tyler, I was teaching at my gym there. So when I was kind of towards the end, I started teaching class, and this older lady, she was about 68. She was the only one that came to my class. The only person, her name was Penny. I love her. Only one that came to my class. And I was still new to instructing adult classes and like learning what she needed, what kind of style am I supposed to teach? Because sometimes I get too excited and I want to teach everything. Right. But I was learning, and she supported me throughout this whole journey. And when I told her I was moving and what I was thinking about doing, she gave me this super sweet gift. I will never forget about her. So she's kind of like my reminder that I can do it. So she was a big help. That's when I learned how to work with people, for sure. Because it was just a one-on-one class. No one would come but her. And so that was awesome.
Yeah, it is. How long are your classes?
They're about 45 minutes, an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you still at Innovative, or did you open up your own studio yet?
No, not yet. So I started at Innovative, renting their studio out. And then it was just a little too far for like my regulars that were starting to come to my classes. So I was like, okay, I met Vic from Vic, who owns Vortex.
Right, and that's how we met, right?
And that's how we met, yes.
What's it?
What was it? Was it Art Cruise? No, not Art and Cruise. That's
they were doing
Friday
something.
Art.
Yeah, Friday Art. Right.
Art Club. Art Club. That's what it's called. I was like, what is it called?
They were running a car with
yeah.
tires and T-shirts and all that.
That was super cool. Yeah, they're amazing people. he offered me like, hey, like I see that you're teaching, I have a space if you want to come teach here. And obviously their space is super cool there too. And I really liked it. And I was like, oh yeah, let's just get some mirrors and like start teaching there. And yeah, so I started with Vortex. And then I had the February event. This is going towards this year. In February, I needed an actual studio space for my Galentine's event, which was huge. It was my first Galentine's and it went really well. And I needed an actual studio space and more mirrors, bigger. And I contacted Pure Energy Productions and I said, hey, do you guys rent studio spaces for this event I'm having? And she was like, yeah. Met Ellen, the owner of Pure Energy. And she also offered me a hip hop as a hip hop instructor. So not only did I get the rental there, but I also became the instructor at Pure Energy Productions.
Okay, where's that located?
Right in front of Bryan High School.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's like the bingo place right next to it. Mm-hmm. It's like that intersection. I'm not sure what that road is called. Briarcrest.
Briarcrest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 29th. Right.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What was the reason that you I guess started working with everybody, like all genres? You teach all genres or just hip hop?
I kind of switch it up a little bit. Like why do I do it?
Right. Why the hip hop? Why other genres?
Mm-hmm. Just want to offer.
Is it what people are asking for?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So with hip hop, I love hip hop. I feel like I won't stop teaching hip hop because it is something I'm more skilled at. I also teach it at the studio now, working there too. So I kind of want to focus on that more. But I am starting to offer jazz funk classes. So. Mm-hmm. So that way my girls that are in drill team can come and try these classes and then just kind of seeing where me as a dancer is more leveled at. I think that's been like the hardest thing for me is like, what do you like? I love to do jazz. I mean, well, jazz, hip hop, and reggaeton and everything. Right. But me as a dancer, I think I'm just I have to just learn that I'm just very versatile and I like a lot of things. And if I like it this month, I'm gonna do it. And so just kind of also seeing what the community wants to see or want to try, because it also gives me ideas for when I open a studio, what I should be looking for. So that's why I do different things throughout the month and see what works, what doesn't work, right. And kind of just learning from there.
Do you get high school students that are in those drill teams that kind of want to work extra on their craft? And mm-hmm. Do you do one-on-ones?
Yeah, so I also teach privates. So my business right now is Dance with Aymele. I do privates. I did a private for a girl who was trying out for drill team officer position, mm-hmm. and she needed a solo. So I taught her a solo. I did a solo for a senior year solo at Bryan High School for one of the girls. And then I do kind of just gigs, whatever you need me for. Right now, I'm actually working on a music video for one of these locals, Bryan locals, who is having a music video, and she's kind of needed like a partner duo thing. So one of my homies is actually going to be the backup dancer in it, mm-hmm. and I'm choreographing their duo. So I can do a little bit of everything. Yeah.
So what I saw on your page, on your social media, that you have some events coming up. Mm-hmm. Well, what are all these events that you have coming up?
Yeah, so this event I have is this Friday, actually June 7th. Okay. It is a Latin dance workshop. I'm hosting it with one of my good friends, Daniel Miranda. He is from Bryan, Texas as well. He started out kind of like me. He started with quinceañera choreography, and then he moved to Houston, and he was teaching at a studio, and now he owns his own studio called Classic Dance Studio. So me and him, I've been working a little bit together. I go a lot to his studio to learn and just train and things like that. But he's been such a big help throughout my journey when it comes to, okay, I texted him. I was like, okay, I'm going to start this and I need your help on advice. Like, what do I charge people? Mm-hmm. What do I charge people for quinceañeras? What do you charge people for, gigs, privates? Like, what should I charge? What do you think? And I would say he's probably my mentor for sure. Like, he's been such a big help. So we're super excited to do this together. And I was like, you got to come back to Bryan. You got to do something with me. Like, we got to do something for the community, let it grow and see that you're out here doing this, in Houston, and like what we could offer here. So he teaches bachata classes, beginner bachata classes, and reggaeton classes. Okay. So we're going to bring that here this Friday at 7 p.m. is going to be the bachata class, and 8 p.m. is going to be the reggaeton class.
Okay. Is there a charge? Is there a fee?
Yeah. So it's going to be $10 per class. So you can, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you can see more details about that, where to sign up.
Where do they follow you?
On Instagram and Facebook. So Dance with Aymele and then Dance with Aymele on Facebook. And I just did a interview with Connor Beanie for KBTX.
Okay.
Actually, so if you look at the clip too, you can kind of hear more details about that.
All right, that's cool. How many quinceañeras do you do? That's a big business, ain't it?
Yeah.
Quinceañeras are a big business for a lot of people here. How does that work? What do you? I was in a lot of quinceañeras, and we never did anything, drastic. It was just kind of little march, and that was it. But now these kids are actually doing choreographed dances.
Yeah, big
right?
ones. It's kind of way bigger than it used to be before.
Yeah, it's way bigger now.
Yeah.
So how did you get into that?
So I'm still getting into that. I'm still learning more about it. I'm trying to get some more bookings for quinceañeras. So if anyone needs quinceañeras,
if anybody needs a cool dance, right, get with Aymele, right?
Yes. So so I'm getting into that right now. I have a couple friends and locals that I know who actually are choreographers. A lot of young kids are teaching choreography for quinceañeras. 15, 16-year-olds are becoming choreographers and getting booked for mother quinceañeras to do their choreography, which I think it's amazing that so much entrepreneurship is growing with these kids. Right. But I ask them a lot of questions too. I'm like, this is a different type of business, but I'm open to it. I've taught like big production dances for the middle school and high school, so it's nothing too far from it. It's a little bit different, but it's something that I don't think I know I could pick up. Right. Yeah.
Have you ever done theater?
I did do theater. I did 2 theater productions for the middle school outside. So when that job, Young Audiences, got me so many bookings for after school workshops for the kids, theater productions. I did Annie, and then I did what was it called? All-Star? I don't remember what the name was, but I did 2 theater productions and I had to choreograph all of that. And that was new to me, but I picked it up and I got booked twice, so that was good.
Okay. Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years. I'm 22 right now. In 5 years, I'll be...
Well, you're going to be 27.
Yeah, I was like, so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to look at the age to think about.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Definitely, if God wants me to be owning my studio already. For sure. Don't know if it's going to be Bryan College Station. Don't know where it might be, but for sure owning my studio and just letting it grow and just being with more family, spending more time with family and helping kids and helping the community. That's a big thing I wanted to do, with my business is just help because dancing is not cheap. It's not at all. It's expensive.
No, it's expensive.
And it was hard for my mom to pay for those classes when I first started. So I didn't do dance in middle school. I did dance in high school and I had the opportunity to do it in the school. So if I can create something and have a studio that can allow people and kids and adults or whoever wants to come dance, just have that experience, that's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah.
And what other events do you have coming up?
So right now I just have the Latin dance workshop. I'm teaching my regular Thursday classes. Next week's reggaeton. On the 20th, I have another reggaeton class. It's actually a free class. So I do a lot of polls on my stories and I'm like, bringing up, I wanted to bring back an old dance, and I asked what dance did you want me to bring back, and so Beaqueo was one of them. So I'm bringing that one back. It's a free class. I was like, I'm gonna give back and have everyone come out to that one. And then the last Thursday of this month, I'm teaching a jazz funk. So that's my first one doing jazz, but I'm super excited because I'm excited to get into that again. Okay. So yeah,
there's so many movies with dance in it. Which one's your favorite?
Honey.
Is that with Jennifer Lopez?
No, it's a Latina. I forgot her name. It's a Latina dancer. It's about her story. Kind of like the studio, how she started. And she was like a backup dancer. And then she wanted to start her own studio and gave back. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. I love that movie.
Have you ever seen Saturday Night Fever?
I don't think so.
Man, that's a great John Travolta disco.
I think so. I think I've seen.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best ones.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dance scene in a movie?
Dance scene?
Yeah. No, like a dance scene.
Scene? Yeah. Honestly, probably Step Up when Moose is like in the water. You ever seen that?
Which one?
Moose, Step Up, where Moose is in the water and he's like doing that song by Timbaland. And it's like They're dancing in the water.
I haven't seen that.
You gotta look it up. It's
Okay.
pretty like common if people seen that scene a lot, and they
Okay.
recreate it when it's raining because it
Mhm.
was raining scene and they're dancing in the water. And it's like this big thing, so it's pretty cool.
Right. What's your favorite song to dance to?
No, you're asking a dancer this
It's
question.
like there always has to be that song that kind of gets you.
Yeah, it gets me
know.
going. I don't know. Just depends what genre I'm feeling. So that's what
That's what I'm at. You know, there's that one song out of all the genres. You know, it's like that one
Yeah.
song. What's that one song that?
I can you can never go wrong with Michael Jackson, PYT. Like
Okay.
you can never get wrong.
PYT.
So
All right. The song that gets me going is, have you ever heard "Groove Is in the Heart"?
Grooves in the Heart by
Oh, I can't remember.
No. Is it it's like disco?
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
see I like
disco.
disco too.
Yeah, so you know, those songs kind of get you going.
I like Earth.
Right.
What is it? Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Big fan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of artists that
Yeah.
inspired dancing. Michael Jackson, you know,
I mean,
probably
huge.
the main one.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Right. What artist or actor do you like to see dance? Who inspires you
Who inspires me?
as a you know, what actor or what musician?
Musician. Well, I love a lot of artists in the dance, like choreographers and things
Okay.
right now. Paris Global is huge right now. She's just an amazing dancer, but she choreographed the Rihanna Super Bowl.
Okay.
She did Karol G's VMA show. She's just very talented woman, dancer, choreographer, instructor. So for sure, I would say like she's like the holy grail of dance right now. Like she's just
Okay.
awesome. I have a lot. There's just like a lot of like other choreographers I'm just really like a fan of, like Nat Bat, Julian, a couple people from LA who are just doing a thing out there. So they're pretty awesome. I just like watching them, their craft, and just seeing them dance.
What do you tell a young kid that wants to start dancing?
Just do it. Just do it and have fun with it. There's no even young kid, or if you're older and you never danced before, you can start whenever. There's no age to start dancing. Just dance.
Just have fun.
Just have fun.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, anything you want to add to the podcast before we go? Anything you want to tell the community? Go out to see you, support you.
Yeah.
Right. Let's all support Aymele.
Thank you.
Because it's very important to support people that do things in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why I had this podcast to bring people like you who want to inspire, who want to, you know, donate their time, who want to build something,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not just have a business, but help people.
Yeah.
And help them, you know, get inspired to do things.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to tell the community?
Definitely, you know, Bryan College Station, we're growing, we're getting bigger. We have so many ideas. There's so many people that have so much ideas and things they want to do. It's time to start doing it. So if you have an idea in the community and you want to do it, this is the time to start doing it. And don't limit yourself. You feel like, oh, I'm too scared to start it. No one's gonna do it unless you do it.
Right.
And if they do it before you, then you miss. You know, you still do it, but you know, just do it if you really love to do it. Especially if you're very passionate about something. Don't let anything limit you. At the end of the day, those are just thoughts in your head. And if you love to do it, you're gonna do it. Right. And it's not gonna be an easy start. It's gonna be a little rough, and you're gonna learn.
It's like anything.
It's gonna be hard, but when you already know that's gonna be hard, and you kind of just know at the end of the day you have an end goal for something, it's gonna happen. And I know God's gonna everything on God's timing for sure.
Right. And parents, please support your kids when they really want to do something like dance. Right.
For sure.
It's very important that parents support them, not just drop them off and leave.
Yeah.
You know, you're not babysitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
you're there to help. Not. So, any shout outs you want to send out before we go?
Just want to shout out Classic Dance Studio, Daniel Miranda. Thank you so much for helping me through this journey. Thank you, my mom, for just being my number one supporter and always helping me throughout this journey. She's literally my momager right now. She kind of on the backup scenes when I'm editing and anything I have to do with dance. She helps me a lot, making sure I'm just working everything behind the scenes that I might not be able to catch up on. Thank you, everyone who's helped me rent the studio, Innovative Fitness, Vortex, and Pure Energy right now. Thank you, Bryan High School Cheyennes, and my director, Taylor. Taylor Martinez, big help, big mentor throughout this whole journey. Without all that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I'm very appreciative of this journey and everything I've learned. Thank you, young audience. Thank you, East Texas and Tyler Junior College, everyone that has impacted my dance career in any way, and everyone who comes to my classes right now and just kind of sees that I'm growing and trying and sharing my platform. So yeah.
Well, Aymele, I want to thank you for being on the podcast, and we want to wish you the best luck in the world. And if you ever need, anything, any sponsors or anything, look me up, and I'll get you sponsors.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let's do this as a team. Okay, you're not going to be able to do it alone.
Yeah.
All right. I had a boxing club for a long time, and you can't do it alone.
Yeah.
It takes a whole community. It takes a village, is how they say it.
Yeah.
So don't think that you're alone. So and the community's going to be with you. So good luck.
Thank you.
And again, thank you for being on the podcast. And people, please, I want to remind everybody, please subscribe to Desde Cero con Manuel. I had this video up. 90% who viewed wasn't subscribed. So people who aren't subscribed are watching these videos.
They're just watching.
So they're just watching it. You gotta hit subscribe to help us build the channel.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and help promote the people like Aymele who are doing things for the community.
Yes.
So again, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching, and we see you next time. And thank y'all. See y'all.